Hey guys, I'm back. So I just got back from walking Zoe and I got on Instagram and I was scrolling and I saw where this girl was crying and she had on a low smock. I thought maybe she got laid off or something. I didn't know what was going on. So I just kind of turned on a video and she is just so tired. She's just going to stay off of social media. She just can't take it anymore. Everything is just so triggering and she can't believe he is building a ballroom. Oh my goodness. It is exhausting watching so much stupidity and manufactured outrage that I don't even know what to do with myself. The media has told her to be mad, so she's mad. These people have a switch on their back that whatever the liberal media tells them, instead of using deductive reasoning or any form of common sense, they get mad. As soon as they tell them anything about Trump, they could tell them, well, Trump's going in to take a shower. They would scream and fall out on the ground because they're idiots. They have nothing better to do. Now, who cares what this man is doing up at the White House? It's not coming out of my pocket. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's not coming out of the taxpayers' pockets at all. But nobody is concerned about all these people that are here illegally putting a strain on those of us that are tax-paying Americans. She should care about that. But because she's told not to care about that, she doesn't care about that. She cares about something that has nothing at all to do with her. Now, if I had a choice, I think I would be more mad at a basketball court because not everybody's going to use a basketball court. Now, I was under the impression, now y'all, if y'all didn't think this, okay, fine. But I was under the impression that the White House had a ballroom because how do you host so many formal events and not have anywhere for anyone to go? What difference does it make? Everybody that goes there does something different because they're going to be living there for the next 4 years. And this is not even his money. This man can't seem to do nothing without these people flipping out. They just had a No Kings rally. Do you know how dumb that is? When Joe Biden act like a complete king and he couldn't even take a flight of stairs. That man pronounced a curse over the whole nation. Said it was going to be death. His patience was running thin, forcing us to try to take a vaccine that most of us did not want. But nobody protested him. Nobody protested when all of the drag queens were on the White House lawn. Nobody had a word to say about that. But now they're somewhere crying about a ballroom that did not come out of their pocket. Nobody cares. They're only being told to care. This man can't seem to do anything right. It is the most thankless job ever unless you're a Democrat. I have never seen such babies. And this all comes from everybody got a trophy. Everybody got a trophy. When I was a kid, if you lost, you lost. That forced you to do better later. When I cried, I was told, shut up, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Problem solved. But now, you got adults ranting and raving about nothing. And then I go over to TikTok and I see where all these adults flipping out about their food stamps. Men and women, able-bodied and young. Now, if you are handicapped, if you're the elderly, if you are someone that really needs these benefits, that is one thing. But if you are able-bodied, an able-bodied adult that is young, that can get out here and get yourself a job, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And if you're not ashamed, you should get some shame. Because there was a time that we used to have shame. You know, that there was certain things that we just did not do. Folks used to be ashamed about taking handouts. They had pride. They didn't take a handout from anybody. They didn't want the government giving them anything, because if you think that the government is responsible for feeding you, that means that the government has the same ability to starve you. What is going on today? Every time I get on any of these apps, and what I've done in the past year or so is I have unfollowed a lot of things, so I don't see most of this. I was not expecting to see some grown woman virtually on the verge of tears, had to take a break because this man is building a a ballroom. Has nothing to do with her, not her money, private donors' money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yet and still, because the media has told them to be mad, this is a dangerous time. Anytime the media can tell you something and you believe it blindly, there is something wrong with that. When I talk to people from other countries, they are always surprised at how willingly we believe whatever the media says. I stopped watching the news a long time ago. I had a woman tell me that she does not respect people that do not watch the news. I said, it's a good thing I don't need your respect. Because see, the thing is, I am not about to take in a bunch of lies. I am not going to be told how to feel. See, that's what happens when you sit up and you watch the news, 5, 7, 9. You sit there and you listen to everything they have to say. It is equivalent to having a hook in your nose and them pulling you around. They are telling you how to feel. They are giving you their opinion. There used to be a time when the news just gave you the news. Now they're going to tell you what you should think, how angry you should be. And this is why these people can stand out there in the rain and protest about having a king, not even knowing how ignorant it sounds. And they actually want socialism. And that means that all of their money is going to go to someplace else. But obviously people do not know how that works either. And so they're out there in the rain protesting about a king, and they've never lived under a monarchy. But if you go out there and you ask them, what exactly has he done that affected you? They can't name nothing. Can't name nothing. These are adults that are able to drive, have children, vote, and everything else. Able to live by themselves. Such fools. They ought to be embarrassed. And I am embarrassed for them, because there are people in other countries that see this stuff and they're like, what is going on? This is the most ridiculous, most embarrassing time in history ever, that people have all this information. We have computers in the palm of our hands, all this information, and yet we remain the most ignorant.